the spring of 1966, Linton Cooper, a non-affiliated member of CSI, convinced a Gulf States region director from Memphis to come to Mississippi and give a presentation on CSI, and the rest is our history. Much of the chapter's early historical documentation has been lost over time, so in 2006, interviews were conducted with some of the founding members about those early years. Linton Cooper talked of the founding of the chapter. I thought this looked like something we should have here in Mississippi, so I called the Institute and asked them what it would take to get a chapter started here. We asked 2 Gulf States region directors to come visit with us. The people that we had here for that first meeting were from all over Mississippi, including Grenada, Greenville, Tupelo, Meridian, and Hattiesburg. The interest by the construction community was really something to see. Right then and there, at that meeting, when GSR leaders Dempsey Morrison and Don Manley got through with the presentation, we organized the Mississippi Chapter CSI. One of our first chapter members was Robert V.M. Harrison. In an interview with Mr. Harrison, he had this to say about this new chapter. I was part of a small 3-person office. We didn't even have a secretary. I was trying to write specifications and was farming out the typing. CSI just made sense to me. During that first year, we started having chapter meetings and programs, trying to make this what a CSI chapter should be. I remember that Linton told me, "We are going to get a charter soon, and if you want your name on the charter, you better be a member." I was struggling with the other expenses, and remember it was hard just to come up with the fee to join, which was only $35 at that time. I thought if I'm going to join, I want my name on that charter, so my joining date ended up being December the 8th, 1966, the same date we were chartered. Another charter member, Jerry Oakes, discussed relationship building. We developed camaraderie between designers and industry folks in those early years. I enjoyed that because the people I got to know were not all architects like me. Having non-architects with us was a great experience as I got to know the industry totally. As I was developing drawings, it was an immense help to me to be able to contact people that I knew so I could get reliable information from people I trusted. Connie Miller was one of those first industry members to join the Mississippi chapter. In an interview with Connie, he talked about the importance of meeting sponsors to help defray meeting costs. He was instrumental in getting those first meeting sponsors. I told the board I would get sponsors, and if not, I would sponsor the meetings myself. But that wasn't an issue, as Connie found many who were eager to sponsor our CSI meetings. Connie continued to serve the chapter for many years in many capacities, including president, and was often the chapter's Epicurean, selecting the best restaurants to visit when our members traveled to other GSR chapters for conferences. The chapter's first award was an Institute Membership Cup awarded in 1967 to the fastest growing chapter in CSI. In 1971, the chapter received a Gulf States Region Technical Excellence Award for the monthly publication of Spec Tips, conceived by Bob Harrison as an educational and outreach tool. In each month's edition, the chapter published important information in an effort to share gained knowledge with other members of the construction industry. This is a process and a commitment to education that continues today. The chapter held its first specifications competition in its 10th year, with awards presented at the first annual chapter awards ceremony in that same year. Not only did the chapter receive another Institute Award for the greatest membership growth of all chapters in 1978, but this era also saw many firsts for our chapter. We had our first product show and our first member to become a fellow. Linton Cooper's ambitious undertakings and perseverance towards writing better specifications helped him achieve the prestigious honor, Fellow of the Institute. The chapter's success was mainly due to the dedication and perseverance of our membership in those formative years, making concerted efforts and working individually as a group to achieve their goals. Bob Harrison initiated a relationship with and a commitment to students that still stands today. Linton, Bob, and others organized the chapter's first product show to produce income for the chapter and provide access to information for the design community. Through personal as well as chapter involvement in the Mississippi State University School of Architecture, the Mississippi chapter was able to make an impact on future generations of architects. Jim Vinson, a member of that first graduating class, later became president of the chapter. Since that time, many chapter presidents have been introduced to CSI because of the chapter's involvement in their education. Because we were willing and able to take on the task, the chapter not only hosted its first annual region conference, but also its first region leadership meeting within the same year. Indeed, in this decade, we set the standard for other GSR chapters in regards to offering hospitality when hosting these region events. The chapter continues to hold this banner high with chapter members stepping forward to take on tasks and assignments whenever asked by chapter and region leaders. The Mississippi chapter has been fortunate to be part of the cutting edge of new practices for chapters within the region. Through the efforts of our dedicated membership, the Mississippi chapter really began to make its presence known not only at the region level, but also at the institute level. Bob Harrison was presented with the J. Norman Hunter Institute Award for his work with students in 1989, and in 1991, Bob was elevated to Fellow of the Institute. The Robert V. Bishop Award for service to the region's highest honor, was presented to Bob in 1996. Our membership grew more diversified with the inclusion of landscape architects, interior designers, attorneys and insurance specialists, owner representatives, and other representatives of the construction industry. Our presence within the Gulf States region was strengthened by Tom Clark and Phil McDade serving as region directors simultaneously, showing the strength of our leadership within our region. It is not unusual to still find many Mississippi chapter members serving at the region level at the same time. Our chapter members, though hardworking and dedicated, love to have fun, so it was during this time that the now famous Gulf States Region Water Ballet was conceived at a region conference in Jackson. Though inspired by mischievous frivolity, Water Ballet demonstrates the willingness of the participants to become team players. Our chapter began instituting full-day seminars covering cutting-edge topics, proving our long-standing commitment to continuing education. By incorporating these seminars into the product show and making them available to non-CSI members, we extended that commitment to the entire Mississippi construction industry. Our fourth decade began with Phil McDade being elected as Institute Vice President. The chapter received the Institute's Student Liaison Award for its dedication to the students of our area. Not only was this award a high honor, but this was the first time it was awarded to a chapter rather than to an individual, again proving our strength as a group. The chapter continues its commitment to students through our involvement at the University of Southern Mississippi and our USM student affiliate. Through the continued dedication of our chapter members, the affiliate grows stronger with each year. The chapter was doubly honored in 1998 by the award of an Institute Commendation to Phil McDade for his longtime service to the chapter, region, and institute with the Transfer of Power leadership meetings, and by Tom Clark's advancement to Fellow of the Institute. Phil was awarded Fellow of the Institute the following year. The fellowship award was very special to Phil and the chapter because Bob Harrison was serving as chairman of the jury of fellows that year. In 2000, our chapter was awarded the Institute's Outstanding Chapter Commendation, one of the few that was awarded that year. We have continued to excel and receive this award at the annual convention. Tom was elected to serve as Institute Vice President in 2000, and Phil went back to the Institute to serve as Secretary. Phil was elected to serve as Institute President-elect in 2001 and made his chapter proud by serving as Institute President the following year, the first in our chapter to ever reach this high office. During that time, Phil was also presented the region's highest honor, the Robert V. Bishop Award, and by the end of the decade, this award was also presented to Tom Clark. The chapter members, emboldened and inspired by Phil's and Tom's service, continued to move forward, and in 2005, Gary LaRose was also elevated to Fellow of the Institute for his service to the Institute and his steadfast and meaningful contributions to the uniform drawing system. Recognition of our contributions continues to bring pride to the chapter. In addition to other accomplishments, the chapter received Region and Institute recognition for its calendar of events and new member orientation guide designed and created by John Dunaway. The chapter's website, now maintained by Randall Lewis, contains this pertinent information about our chapter, our members, chapter events, as well as the chapter history, including the awards list. Tom Clark continued his service to the chapter and region by serving the chapter as both certification and technical chair from 2006 until 2011, and serving the region as technical chair from 2006 to 2008. John Dunaway served as the region awards chair from 2006 to 2008, bringing dignity and order to the region award ceremony and developing new criteria for reviewing and scoring awards. In 2008, Keith West was elected to the position of GSR Vice President, moving on to serve as President the following year. Keith now serves as the Region Awards Chair, carrying on the tradition of the Region service by chapter members. Not to lose sight of the specifications in the CSI name, Tom Clark and Jim Vinson received numerous specification competition awards for the excellent documents they produced. In 2009, the Gulf States region created the Eugene Wetzel Award for Communication Excellence. John Dunaway was the first recipient. The following year, Phil McDade earned the same GSR honor, and in 2014, Randall Lewis also received this honor. Each of these men displayed great communication skills through writing, public speaking, and electronic communications, respectively. Chuck Bird, John Dunaway, Sean O'Keefe, and honorary chapter member Charlene Dunaway received acclaim for their work with the Spectones, a CSI Region R&B band, in a performance following the gala at the 2009 Institute Convention in Indianapolis. At the Institute Convention in September 2011, Tom Clark received the Hans William Meyer Award for Advancement of Certification Programs in recognition of his work in developing and implementing construction documents education programs throughout the Gulf States region. John Dunaway was elected to the office of Gulf States Region Vice President in 2012 and served as President the following year. John continues his service to the GSR and is now in his third year as editor of the GSR Leader, the region newsletter, for which he has received an Institute Award. In 2012, the GSR presented the Robert V. Bishop Award to Keith West, and in 2015 bestowed the same honor on John Dunaway. More Mississippi chapter members have received the Robert V. Bishop Award than any other chapter in the Gulf States region. Randall Lewis received an Institute Outstanding Contribution Award for his notable contributions to the goals of the Institute in 2014. our members continue to achieve great things. So in 2015, Keith West was elevated to fellowship for his service to the Institute. The following year, John Murray received the Institute's Outstanding Contribution Award. John Murray served the GSR as Electronic Communications Chair for 2 years and was elected to Vice President of the GSR in 2015. This short history of our chapter highlights our amazing strength and diversity and how we have grown from our humble beginning in 1966 to the strong and proud chapter we are today. Time has not allowed us to tell you about the other times. Road trips in the buses, numerous get-togethers with family and friends, efforts to impact our community, the personal relationships among friends, plus the sharing of joys and sorrows with those friends as these things occur in those lives. Those are all vital aspects of people belonging to a volunteer organization. With this base of accomplishments and our continued dedication to providing new leaders for our industry, there is no limit to what we can accomplish. The strength of Mississippi CSI depends on what we do now to educate, mentor, and inspire the future construction industry leaders of tomorrow. We honor those that have served and look for many more accomplishments from our members as they perpetuate the vision of our early charter members while steadfastly looking towards the future. We draw inspiration from our proud past and look expectantly to a promising future.